The UTSA Roadrunners go back to the Dome, and this time they take on La Tech, and they are looking to continue their streak to head to a hopeful 10-2. I'm Christian Rao here with Steve Feck, and this is your preview for the game of the UTSA Roadrunners. Steve, what's going on, my man?
It's another football Friday.
That's right. That's
Christian.
right.
Yeah, so it's and I have to admit this is probably my favorite. As much as the live Saturday morning special is so much fun to do. These are the schools that I tend to gravitate towards. I think to a certain degree, you as well. But UTSA, I mean, the whole country should be in love with UTSA.
That's right. Definitely here at SlasherU. ESPN does predict 83.5% predict in favor of UTSA. 100% of SlasherU predicts UTSA to win this football game. But let's break it down here and think about some of the aspects of it. Obviously, as always, this game is going to revolve around the quarterback, Frank Harris. His stats moving into this game I find super impressive, so I have to put them out there. It's just always fun to talk about. 228 for 330 on the year. 2,823 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Frank Harris has been as well as we could hope for this season. A very good, on pace for a 10-2 year, hopeful bubble for an NY6 team. I saw a comment on one of our YouTube saying that they think, a couple of people think that the American leaders are going to tear themselves apart the next week, and that's going to give UTSA a nice chance to move up. I thought that was very good viewpoint. And I think that could potentially happen and give a chance for UTSA. But La Tech was a team that you and I, Steve, thought were going to be a lot better than a 3-6 team going into this game this season. We thought their offense was going to be way more explosive. I remember at the beginning of the season, we were talking about this team thinking that they were going to be able to cover some spreads against some pretty decent squads. And that just wasn't the case this year. And they've really struggled offensively like we thought they were going to do. We thought they were going to do a lot better, but they didn't. And they found a way to, average over 400 yards per game. But on the defensive side, they're almost giving up 500 yards a game. And that's probably where the biggest issues are lying. However, La Tech 3-6, they find themselves, UTSA can stick a fork in them this week and get them out of bowl eligibility. And that's something that I'm sure the Roadrunners wouldn't mind doing to a Conference USA foe.
Oh, there's always that extra motivation. You want to win all of your conference games, but when you know a team is on the brink. Now, to La Tech's credit, they have played their way back into being mathematically still alive, for a bowl bid. And they've done that by forcing turnovers. I don't think they're going to be that successful at forcing turnovers, Certainly, Frank Harris is pretty careful. There's been some fumbles. There's interceptions. Every quarterback has that. But, as a team, as a whole, they do a pretty good job of protecting the football. The Roadrunners are averaging about 400 yards in total offense. And that's with, injury, concerns and just playing in some pretty high caliber teams, certainly in conference and out of conference. What I find interesting here is that even with the injuries to the offensive line, the Roadrunners have been able to really offer pretty good pass protection. The fact that Harris is mobile, that helps. He can run himself out of trouble if need be. But for the most part, they've been way more effective, with their pass protection than they have opening up holes for the rushing game. But that then allows Frank Harris and Jeff Traylor's offensive scheme to open up the rushing game by being effective with the passing game early, and then that allows their running backs. And they've been rotating. It seems every week there's a new rushing hero, for the Roadrunners. So that I think bodes really well down the road, because when we're looking down the road, we're looking at a 10-2 finish. We're looking at a conference championship, hosting the championship game, and we're looking at ideally, if not a New Year's Day bowl, a much more high-profile bowl, Sun Bowl committee. We did get some inside information this week.
Okay.
A little birdie, a little Roadrunner came to us and said that quarterback Frank Harris has a comfort level and always looks to his tight end, Oscar Cardenas, in big situations. And that little message had been shared with us before. And then as we were watching games over the last couple of weeks since we first heard about that, it's obvious, especially in the fourth quarter, he needs a big first down the field. He's looking for Oscar Cardenas. And then the amazing one-handed catch Cardenas made was, against UAB. It was just another poster play. UTSA should be able to fund their athletic department just selling posters of some of the plays that have happened this year. There's one thing about Louisiana Tech that I want to focus on here. And it's their mascot. Okay. Tech 12, the Bulldog. He gets ushered around campus and to and from the football stadium. Now I saw it on the basketball game the other night. He has this tripped out blue remote controlled Bugatti. And he just gets, and that's what people are looking for pictures. They even used him for a recruiting tool.
Wow.
They literally brought in like a 3-star quarterback recruit this week. I see if I can find his name. I lost the kid's name, but I mean he was pretty well thought of there in Louisiana, and that was one of the things that the recruit wanted. He wanted a picture with Tech 12, the Bulldog, and his car. So that's something to look for early in the game, and at halftime and things like that. See what Tech 12 is doing. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that that's going to be one of the highlights for La Tech. I think the Roadrunners are they're locked in.
Birds up.
Birds up. Birds up. Meep meep, Roadrunners. This is your week to shine again, and just kind of maybe get a little healthier and start putting the pieces together in your game plan for the Conference USA championship game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. They're an 18-point favorite in this one. Wow. Hopefully La Tech has a little more fun, a little more sake than we do, because we think this game's going to be pretty rough for them. They struggled. They lost against FIU in overtime. So this is UTSA has played in the last 4 games 3 of the toughest competitors they have in Conference USA, with the exception of Florida Atlantic or Florida International, I should say. That was really the only game that wasn't a tough one in the last month. This one right here, I think, is going to be more towards that FIU style of game. Hopefully, UTSA doesn't start off slow like they did against FIU. That's probably the one concern that I'll have at the beginning of this game, especially because we just saw them play a double overtime game. Hopefully, they're well rested. Hopefully, they make the proper adjustments. Hopefully, they're not thinking over this game, because they do have a couple tougher opponents than La Tech for the rest of the season. 10-2 is the goal, and I think they'll get there, but they got to get to 8-2 first. We'll see this game on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Looking forward to this one.